Good morning. It is time for Tea Book Tuesday, episode 76 with author Lisa Prysock. I'm coming to you from my dining room here in Kentucky with hot tea and hope you have something to drink that you enjoy and a couple minutes to chat with me. Our topic today is overcoming discouragement and distraction. I know sometimes life can just get out of balance and it can feel overwhelming, and we can begin to feel things like discouragement, distraction, even distress, and it can affect our ability to move forward. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how I deal with some of those things, because this is something all of us face at any time in our life. And at one time or another, we have to learn to begin to figure out how to overcome these things and not let these things swallow us up. So, with that thought in mind, sometimes we are coping with just a whole bunch of things all at one time. And for instance, we have had things like a collapsing pool. We've had a split tree limb come down because of too much snow on it. We have been sometimes too busy at times for our own good. Sometimes there are family issues going on in the background, or negative people will suddenly creep up around you. Sometimes we've experienced attack, like things will just start to go wrong that just don't seem normal. Or like being a writer, you can feel criticisms or feelings of like you're abandoned by the people that you thought would be there the most. Sometimes you can feel unmet needs or expectations. Other times you're just facing crisis and so many battles around you that you don't know where to begin. Sometimes we just don't sleep well, or we're not eating the right foods, or we're not getting the right amount of exercise. I know other times I might be coping with moods of the mood swings of other people around me, not to mention my own, as well as maybe misunderstandings might arise. Then, too, you can just feel like you've been doing something for a long time and you're not seeing the kind of results fast enough that you were hoping for. Maybe you're experiencing loss. Of course, we've all been through this whole lockdown thing, so feelings of isolation. Other times we can have misperceptions or perceptions about things that maybe aren't accurate, and so you can be bombarded by the enemy with thoughts that you've got to fight off, and you may be under a perception that is not the reality, but it can affect you. You can just feel off kilter or out of balance on things. And also sometimes there can be people around you that will try to draw you into battle, argument, conflict, or other people's battles where you just don't even belong. It might be something God doesn't even want you to get involved in. So at any one time, I can be dealing with, behind the scenes as a writer, any number of these things. And it can be discouraging or distracting, but what I do for myself is I remember one of the verses in scriptures that I rely upon the most when I start to recognize that I'm feeling this way is one from the Psalms, and it says, and actually I believe it's in Samuel, King David encouraged himself in the Lord, and this is where I just draw so much strength. I refuse to let these things overwhelm me when I get to feeling this way. by any one or more of these issues. And then I just usually will just try to take one problem at a time. I try to stay very calm and not go into an attitude of panic or anxiety, because that doesn't really help anything. And then I try to, sometimes I'll need to talk to my husband or a friend about it if I am feeling severe anxiety. And then sometimes I just need to take it to the Lord. And that usually will help me the most. But so it's good to stay in an attitude of prayer and praise. Stay in the Word when you're starting to feel these things coming at you. Remember, there's more of God's angels around you than the enemy and his team. So, but don't just determine in yourself that you're not going to let these things knock you down. It helps to recognize these tactics of discouragement and distraction as tactics of the enemy. And just don't let them get you down. Some other things that have helped me, turn on the praise and worship music, sing along with it, take time off, rest, do something fun that I enjoy, or for yourself, whatever you enjoy. Those are some things that I'll do. Sometimes I just need to have fun. Just pull away from it all. Let it be. Sometimes I just need to clean my house. Sometimes the house is out of order, so then I'm getting out of order. So sometimes I'll just step back from everything else and just take some time to tackle a couple of chores that help me feel organized again and on top of the world. And because if your home life gets out of balance, then everything else will. But determine that you're gonna, do something fun, talk to a friend, go out to dinner, do something with your spouse or someone close to you, or call up a friend and chat, and then just be happy anyways, and keep moving forward, because like this whole, COVID thing we've been going through, these things can't last forever. So, you just remind yourself of truth and spiritual truth, and take hold of what the facts are, and just stay focused. And sometimes you got to step back and tackle one or more of the issues, and then try again and do better the next day. And sometimes it's just a walk of faith that it's going to get better, and leaning on the Lord to help make it better. Sometimes there are things that we come up against that are bigger than us, and that's when we really got to apply our faith that the Lord's going to get us through the situation. He's going to either lead us to a decision that's going to make it better, or change things, or help us change, or help take us through it. So he never leaves us, and he promised that he would be there. So I remind myself of that. He said, "Be not discouraged, for I'm with you everywhere you go." So I hope this episode has encouraged you. Let me know in the comments, what are some things you do when you get discouraged? I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you have a great week ahead. Thanks for joining me for this week's episode of Tina Book Tuesday, episode 76. Talk to you soon.